There's nothing quite like an open fire.
And it won't be long before something more than smoke is disappearing up our nation's chimneys.
Posting a letter up the chimney, or trying to, is the old-fashioned way to send your wishes to Santa. And of course, someone might soon be trying to squeeze down the chimney himself. Christmas is the busiest time of the year for the Pearce family. They've been sweeping chimneys for over 400 years. According to family legend, and there's plenty of it, the Pearces helped revolutionise the chimney sweeping trade.
Before the 1820s, that's when boys were climbing up the chimneys with a handbrush, and they'd shimmy up the chimney and brush the wall with the handbrush. We were the first, Pearces were the first people, sweeps, to use rods and brushes, and we bought the job lot so no other sweeps could use them. Yeah. So we had the monopoly on the rods and brushes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kit that's hardly changed in 200 years. And it's not just soot that it's helped the family dislodge.
On one job in a big house in Clapham, I found a big box which, when I opened it up, it was full of Asprey's boxes, full of diamonds. We once found a live fish that had been dropped down a chimney, and we picked it up, put it in a pond, and it survived. Yeah, frogs, bones, anything you can think of we find in chimneys.
The family tree is over 3 feet long, and it stretches back as far as the 18th century.
My father did say that I was the 5th generation.
Yeah.
So the thing is, that would make my son the 6th and my grandson the 7th. I've got an idea, perhaps grandfather was there as well.
He used to do Buckingham Palace.
Dennis started in the family firm at 14 and worked for more than half a century.
I myself am really proud, you know. Stephen goes to customers now that I was going to 40, 50 years ago.
By the early 1900s, there were over 100 Pearces working as sweeps around southeast London and Essex.
This is the memoirs of my grandfather, Percy Pearce' life story of being a chimney sweep from the age of, I think, 13 years old. And it's all handwritten, as you can see.
As late as the 1930s, Percy was still climbing up the inside of chimneys as well as sweeping them.
My grandfather used to climb a big chimney at the Salvation Army in Denmark Hill in London. He had a 150-foot chimney.
Yeah, and then it had to be cleaned by climbing. And I was the only chimney and boiler cleaner who would tackle it.
And they wouldn't pay him until they saw him at the top waving his brush to prove he's been all the way to the top.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney. According to legend, shaking a sweep's hand is supposed to bring you luck. So, 5 chimney sweeps in one room. That's a lot of luck, right?
Yeah.
So how did this thing of chimney sweeps and luck start off?
Well, according to my grandfather, Percy, years ago, 18th century I think it was, in a horse procession through London, a king of England was on his horse and the horse bolted and reared. Out from the crowd, a chimney sweep came out, grabbed the horse, stopped the horse throwing the king off. King said something like, "Oh, and who are you, young man, and what do you do?" "I'm a Pearce and I'm a chimney sweep," which then got turned around to chimney sweeps are lucky.
So Grandad Percy wasn't slow in cashing in on it, was he?
No, Percy decided that after that, if chimney sweeps are lucky, let's make the most of it. So he started kissing brides at weddings in his later years to make some money, and he thoroughly enjoyed that.
And finally, a toast to the next generation.
So, here's to the chimney sweep's luck and the Pearces.
Here's the Pearces!